Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios in the heart of Johannesburg. This is Prime News on SABC 3. And here's what's dominating in your leads at this hour.
Contradict the version of the police.
The Madlanga Commission has heard that a KZN Cash and Transit task team allegedly killed Bevan Loftus, an alleged leader of a rival drug and tow tracking gang, on behalf of another alleged rival leader, Calvin Naika.
It is now my distinct honor and privilege to formally hand over the chairmanship of the SADC Council of Ministers.
Newly appointed chairperson of SADC Council of Ministers, Ronald Lamola, has called on member states to ratify the SADC protocol governing the movement of people across the region.
The electronic travel authorization system will make travel to South Africa a lot easier.
And President Cyril Ramaphosa has officially launched South Africa's new electronic travel authorization system, describing it as a game changer for both border security and economic growth. It's just gone 6 o'clock and you are watching Prime News on SABC 3. Good evening and welcome to it. My name is Beki Butumomolete and your sign language interpreter with me today is Novuyo Fihlani. Let us get into the business of what is abuzz in your world today, starting off with your leads. The Madlanga Commission has heard that a KwaZulu-Natal Cash and Transit task team under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Dina Govender allegedly killed Bevan Loftus, also an alleged leader of a rival drug and tow tracking gang, on behalf of another alleged rival leader, Calvin Naika. This as the Commission shifted its lens to allegations of extrajudicial killings, in which it's alleged that task teams in KZN targeted suspects not for an arrest but to execute them.
Director for Investigations at Police Watchdog IPID in KwaZulu-Natal, Len John, has, through his evidence to the probe, highlighted alleged extrajudicial killings allegedly at the hands of SAP's task team members in the KwaZulu-Natal province, which he charges presents a heightened risk that criminal syndicates will seek to corruptly influence task teams to kill their rivals.
Since 2023, there has been a surge in extrajudicial killings, which IPID has noted with great concern. Between 1st of April 2023 and 31st of May 2026, IPID investigated over 300 cases, of which 77 cases involved the deaths of 149 people as a result of police action by the task team.
John proceeded to highlight the April 2023 death of Bevan Loftus, an alleged leader of a rival drug and tow tracking gang, as a prime example.
Between the 29th of August 2022 and the 18th of December 2023, cash deposits aggregating to 2,343,050 rand were made into the bank accounts of Lieutenant Colonel Dina Govender and his wife, who is also a SAPS member.
The hearings continue. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Zimbabwe's Foreign Affairs Minister, Amon Murira, says that SADC must resist attempts to divide the region. At the official opening of the SADC Council of Ministers, the newly appointed chairperson, Ronald Lamola, called on member states to ratify the SADC protocol governing the movement of people across the region.
The reins at a venue stepped in history, the Inkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center. Lamola used the occasion to set the record straight on Luthuli's legacy.
It is now my distinct honor and privilege to formally hand over the chairmanship of the SADC Council of Ministers to my dear brother, Honorable Ronald Lamola. We trust my brother. We entrust you with this vision, our vision.
Lamola also touched on the issue of migration.
Chief Albert Luthuli was born in Solusi Mission, near Bulawayo, in near present-day Zimbabwe, to a family originating from what was then Natal. He later reconnected with his roots in the province as a teacher, traditional leader, and President General of the African National Congress.
SADC Executive Secretary stressed the importance of peace and security.
SADC region remains largely stable and free from interstate conflict. Notable progress has been made in addressing political and security challenges in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Madagascar.
And on Friday, President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver a public lecture on SADC. The lecture is seen as an opportunity for people from different sectors of society to participate in discussions about the regional integration agenda.
An equally important aspect.
To this now, President Cyril Ramaphosa has given the new electronic travel authorization system a big thumbs up, saying it showcases the country's efficiency and safety. He says this new system, which was launched at the OR Tambo International Airport, will make South Africa economically competitive and help to create job opportunities. Ramaphosa says the new system is also proof that South Africa can change, reform and move with the times.
Electronic travel authorization system will make travel to South Africa a lot easier. It will also make it faster and more predictable. I tested this with one of the travelers who we saw how quickly he was processed. It literally took just less than 1 minute, and the traveler was beaming with laughter, with joy, with a broad smile, because he had a sense that he had been received in a very respectful manner, in a very efficient manner to the country. And this system will encourage tourism.
The Constitutional Court has dismissed the application for leave to appeal directly to it, the interdict granted to President Cyril Ramaphosa by the Western Cape High Court. Last month, the Western Cape High Court halted the oral testimony or public hearings of the Impeachment Committee, pending a review of the Section 89 Independent Panel report. The review is scheduled to be heard in September. The ATM, EFF, MKP, as well as the Impeachment Committee appealed directly to the Constitutional Court.
The chairperson of the Impeachment Committee, I note the decision of the Constitutional Court to dismiss the direct appeal of the Western Cape High Court that interdicted the public hearings of the Impeachment Committee. So we are going to continue with our preparatory work in line with the decision that was made by the Western Cape High Court. We are moving to finalize the terms of reference. We are going to meet next week to move closer to finalizing the terms of reference, but also to get an update in the appointment of the evidence leader. So the preparatory work of the committee has not been interdicted, and will continue to work to ensure that all the preparatory work is finalized.
When we return, the Hawks have not ruled out the possibility of more arrests in the murder case of 2 anti-gang unit members and 2 women in Reiger Park, east of Johannesburg. We have this and more coming up after the break. Welcome back to Prime News on SABC 3. The Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, the Hawks, has not ruled out the possibility of more arrests in the murder case of 2 anti-gang unit members and 2 women in Reiger Park, east of Johannesburg. A 23-year-old accused appeared in the Boksburg Magistrates Court in connection with the murders. On Friday night last week, the police officers were ambushed and fatally shot while responding to a shooting incident involving 2 women.
Gang member Reiger Park is facing a slew of charges. They include 4 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and robbery with aggravating circumstances, among others.
It is pivotal that I mention that my client does not have any previous convictions, was never found guilty by any court of law in the Republic of South Africa. But however, your Worship, does have pending criminal cases, and all those criminal cases, your Worship, pending criminal cases, are actually appearing in this court, Boksburg Magistrate Court.
The state alleges that he is behind the fatal shooting of 2 police officers and 2 women in Reiger Park. He was arrested after firearms belonging to the officers were recovered at an informal settlement in Germiston.
We do believe that he was not alone in doing this heinous deed. So we are not ruling out the possibility of other suspects being arrested as well as additional charges as the investigation unfolds.
According to the Hawks, Collis has 5 other pending cases. Majority of them are murder-related. Collis is expected back in the Boksburg Magistrates Court on August 25. Neria Shakotza, SABC News, Boksburg, Ekurhuleni.
While the snow-covered mountains in the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands have attracted plenty of attention, the concern now extends beyond the spectacular scenery. As temperatures rise and the snow begins to melt, the water will feed streams and rivers flowing into lower-lying communities.
MEC for Transport and Human Settlements, also he was here in Bokstad inspecting areas that were affected by the snowfall. You look at Underbeck, you look at Kokstad, the border between KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape. We've got communities there that are isolated, but in the main, the MEC is quite happy with the execution of the snowfall response plan, which has been executed by the Road Traffic Inspectorate, as well as the graders, the operators of graders. If you look at R617, it was reopened, and other major routes, you look at N11, N3, it is quite clear. But as you correctly pointed out in your intro, it is still drizzling. We are requesting motorists to keep that following distance and to reduce speed.
Next up, the ANC says since 2016, coalition politics have become the order of the day at grassroots level. Various municipalities have found themselves in a difficult position. The ANC Deputy Chairperson of the Local Government Intervention Task Team, Dr. Dixon Masemola, has attributed challenges of municipalities as a result of leadership within coalition government.
A sense of humility and respect to the voters of our country and of all these jurisdictions. We're coming back to them once again and say for the past 10 years, from 2016 to date, we have seen how coalitions and how this mismanagement of the interplay of different diverging ideological expression represented by these parties in their municipalities would have impacted negatively on governance, on financial administration, on delivery of services, and therefore answering a question as to what is the real cause of all these problems. The main cause of all these issues is leadership, because everything stands and falls on leadership. The leadership characterized by coalition dynamics in these big cities and elsewhere, unavoidably, it has basically brought all this what we are going through now, which has become permanent systemic problems.
DA federal leader Jordan Hill-Lewis urged DA supporters to protect DA gains and keep the MK party out of power in the November local polls. Hill-Lewis led a DA campaign in Howick under Umgeni local municipality, the only council solely run by the party in KwaZulu-Natal.
Africa, we have a very competitive election. In this province, the dynamics are a bit different because the ANC has completely collapsed. The ANC is now a distant third party. And it is a two-horse race between the DA and MK. And it's a clear choice between, do you want your towns and cities to go forwards, or do you want chaos and corruption under MK? That is the choice that voters are facing in this province. We are going to put up the best election fight that we can. That is why we are here today, and we will be working here every single day between now and November 4th to motivate voters, to talk about the turnaround that we've done, and to show them that we can do that everywhere.
After the break, the All Blacks dismantled the Sharks 54-0 in Durban last night on their second stop of their tour of South Africa. The details are coming up on this shortly. Thank you for staying with us. A Northwest Premier, Lazarus Mokgosi, has reshuffled his Provincial Executive Council. The changes were announced in Mahikeng today, marking the first major cabinet reshuffle since the 7th administration took office in 2024.
In a decision to make the following changes in the executive. MEC Vessels Morwe, who used to be the MEC for transport, will now become the new MEC for arts, culture, sports and recreation. MEC Virginia Tlapi, who used to be the MEC responsible for community safety, who's responsible for arts, sports and culture, will now be the new MEC responsible for transport. I've spoken to the Speaker of the Legislature, Dr. Sibonda Sammashone Desbomohono, that she must accept to become the new MEC for education in this province.
We see this as just an opportunity for the Premier to settle political scores. There's nothing really about the people of Northwest. There's nothing really about tangibles on the ground and service delivered. So what they are doing is just to use this. They're just being opportunistic about this thing. It doesn't make sense to move one MEC to the next department while you are actually arguing that there's an issue insofar as reviews concerned of service delivery and competence in the cabinet.
I believe there was nothing material that really happened today. It was just a premier or a political office bearer flexing, showing that politically I'm still here and I'm still the premier of this province. Because you would wonder, was this based on merit or what?
South Africa is feeling the effects of the bitter cold, but let's check in with our weather experts to see how much longer we need to brace ourselves for the icy weather conditions. Your forecast is coming up next.
Good evening and welcome to the Weather Desk. The cut-off low over the central interior is starting to weaken, but it is leaving behind isolated showers and thunder showers over the central and the eastern parts of South Africa, with a 60% chance of rain and showers along the coastal areas of KwaZulu-Natal into the adjacent interior. Tomorrow, much clearing over the central parts, but still some rainfall over the low-felt regions of Mpumalanga, Limpopo, as well as along the coastal areas of KwaZulu-Natal. Morning fog patches there along the escarpment areas of Mpumalanga, Limpopo, the interior of KwaZulu-Natal, and just south of the escarpment of the Eastern Cape. The South African Weather Service warns at a level 2 warning for damaging interior winds over the western interior of South Africa, as well as over the northeastern provinces going into Gauteng, as well as the Eastern Free State. A level 1 warning for damaging winds and waves along the southwest and the south coast for this evening going into the early hours of the morning. Tomorrow, another level 2 warning once again over the western half of the Northern Cape, as as well as the extreme northern areas of the Western Cape, where the wind speeds could go up to 40 kilometers per hour. It will be cloudy and cold for us here in the Gauteng province. Still cold in Johannesburg at 14, but slightly warmer as you move to the West Rand, with Carltonville at a maximum of 16. Some cold temperatures across most parts of the Limpopo province, but a cool day in Musina at a maximum of 21, cold in Polokwane at 17. Morning fog patches along the escarpment of Mpumalanga, a cold day in Ermelo at 11, slightly warmer over the low-veld regions with Mbombela at 16. Showers and rain along the coastal areas of KwaZulu-Natal into the adjacent interior. A cool day along the coastal areas with Port Shepstone at 20. eThekwini will reach a maximum of 21. A gradual improvement in the temperatures over the Eastern Cape, where it will be cool in places over the central and the southern regions, where eQonce and Gqeberha will reach a maximum of 20. Clear skies over the Western Cape with hot temperatures over the West Coast District with Vredendal at 32. Cool temperatures in the Northern Cape, but a warm day in the Namakwa District with Springbok at a maximum of 26. Cloudy conditions in the Free State Province, where it is still cold over the interior between Bloemfontein and Welkom at a maximum of 15. And then lastly, the Northwest Province also expecting cold temperatures, but a cool day in Mahikeng at 18. I'll leave you there with the weather. Good night.
And that's how we wrap up today's broadcast. We are back with you again tomorrow evening and back to our regular 8 p.m. slot. Make sure not to miss it, and we'll see you soon.